State television company Western Armenia represents the most important news for today's broadcast. The 15th Council of Ministers of the Government of the Republic of Western Armenia. The death of the President of Iran will change situation in the region. A Turkish party is being opened in Yerevan. The Turkish minister informed about the opening date of Zangezur corridor. 3 more pillars in the bridge of Kirants. Fethiye Chetin, who discovered her Armenian roots. For you, Zangezur. On May 20, the 15th Council of Ministers of the Government of the Republic of Western Armenia took place. The session was chaired by the President of the Republic of Western Armenia, Ms. Lidia Marcosyan. Ms. Lidia Marcosyan presented the details of the diplomatic conference of the Intergovernmental Committee on Intellectual Property and Genetic Resources, Traditional Knowledge and Folklore, initiated by the UN World Intellectual Property Organization on May 13-14 in Geneva. Ms. Lidia Marcosyan emphasized that the presence with the license of Western Armenia is quite important because the Armenian of Western Armenia are a physical indigenous people. The members of the government of the Western Armenia Republic expressed their condolences to the people of Iran in connection with the death of the President of the Islamic Republic of Iran and his accompanying staff as a result of the helicopter accident. The helicopter of the country's President Ibrahim Raisi was perished in Iran. The helicopter reportedly made a hard landing in a mountainous area near the town of Zangezur near the Iran-Azerbaijan border. The reasons for the destruction of the helicopter of the Iranian president, who was on his way to Tabriz after the meeting with Aliyev and the opening of the hydroelectric power station on the land stolen from Armenian in the Araks region in 2020, may never be clarified. Just as it is still not clear what happened in 2010 with the plane in which the military and political elite flew on the anniversary of the Fethiye massacre. However, it is obvious that the catastrophe of May 19 will lead to transformations in the Middle East, just as the political paradigm of relations between Russia and the West changed in Europe after 2010. The downing of the Iranian president's helicopter comes as an Israel war in Gaza has reached a stalemate, and even the Israeli military says Prime Minister Netanyahu has no plan for what to do after the destruction of Hamas, other than to annex Palestine. And Erdogan said that Israel will target Anatolia after Gaza. Netanyahu cannot stop after the death of the President of Iran, Ibrahim Raisi. There will be certain changes in the region, which you can read about on the website, the Western Armenia TV. A Turkish party is planned to open in the city Yerevan, behind which stands Natalya Alexandyan, who lives in Turkey and is better known by the commercial name Tatevik. This lady was engaged in the trading market of Malaysia. Then she was a so-called oppositionist, and she got into some kind of contact with the Turk and started to make pro-Turkish propaganda. Natalya Alexandyan cooperates with Roman Azaryan, who was previously a member of the Enlightened Armenian Party, then was the vice chairman of the Maher Armenian Party. The inaugural meeting of the given party was supposed to take place 2 days ago, but Artur Chahoyan submitted an application to the NSS, sounded the alarm that they were trying to create a Turkish party. The NSS reported to this, and the Marriott Hotel authority responded and refused to hold the session in the hotel. The Minister of Infrastructure and Transport of Ankara, Abdullah Uraloglu, in an interview on the TV channel Haber, mentioned the opening date of the so-called Zangezur corridor. What we call the Zangezur corridor is a project that starts from Baku, crosses the border of Armenia or Iran, then passes through the Nakhichevan, goes to Dili, Juik, Dir and Kars, and then connects to the Silvas line. Construction works continue on the highway and railway on the border with Armenia. We know the statement of the Armenian side, including the Prime Minister, but we have no direct contact. Baku is conducting closer negotiation with them. I know that they are also negotiating with Iran. It has reached a certain point. In the near future, a decision will be made whether the corridor will pass through Armenia or Iran. It is a project that will connect us directly with the Turkish world, Uraloglu said. According to him, the project of mentioned will be completed in 2028-2029. There is a line on the side of the hotel. First of all, the corridor will be improved and then it will be rebuilt. Tenders have been held, but if we start today, it will take about 5 years. Probably we will see if this line will work in 2028-2029, said the Turkish minister. A pillar has been put at the crossing. Border guards are armed and masked next to it. The villager informed the reporter of Western Armenia TV that 3 pillars were placed at the night. At this moment, it is not clear whether they are border or guiding. Already on May 20, it became clear that 2 houses, caravans, cabin shops, and one car wash remain under the control of the armed forces of Baku. The administrative head of Kirants, Sahakyan, told reporters all 6 houses are so close to Azerbaijanis that it is impossible to live there. The school is also so close that no one can send two children to school. Earlier, we reported that the border demarcation works in the Kirants sector and are already nearing completion. Armenian border guard forces take control of the border in the demarcated area. Fethiye Chetin, a lawyer, writer, human rights defender in Constantinople, who is also the lawyer of Hrant Dink's family, believes that one day the Turkish society will recognize the genocide committed against Armenians and will accept the truth. She is convinced that it is necessary to continue talking about it regularly, to bring up human stories as she did years ago when she discovered the fact that her grandmother was Armenian when she was a student. Years ago, when Fethiye was asked what changed in her life when she learned that her grandmother's story and discovered her Armenian roots. Chetin noted that her grandmother told her her story. Orphan Fethiye was a student. Before that, we didn't have much information about the tragic event of 1915. When I learned my grandmother's story, I was amazed, in shock. And at that time, the first thing I wanted to do was run out into the street and shout, "You lied, the state lied to us." I felt a lot of pain and anger inside me, but I made my fight harder. I thought that with our struggle we would change the minds of the Turkish government, but it didn't happen like that. It was the 18th, the revolution took place, and the time were mixed, and the period of presenting my grandmother's story in the form of a book took longer. I'm glad about it through, because years later I started to write my story in a more mature way, which affected a lot of people. Then I saw that many families also had similar stories. They just either didn't talk or spoke very quietly. The book had a great impact and spread. It was sold out fast. 5 days before the murder of Hrant Dink, they called me and said that my grandmother's history book was well received in Armenian, as well as offered to go together to Yerevan. I was very excited, and at that moment I was going to Paris. I promised to return and go to Armenia. I was excited to go to Yerevan with Hrant, but my excitement didn't last long. When I was in Paris, he was killed. After that, I came to Armenia a lot, but without Hrant. After learning about my grandmother's story, I became suspicious, and I did not believe what they presented and thought. I had lost my faith. I was trying to make clarification to try. It seems that I was blind until then, and then started to look around, ask questions. I remember that in the place where I was born, one adult showed me a church, and they didn't say whose church it was, where the people disappeared to, and we did not ask questions either. We saw lonely Armenian grandparents and did not ask why they were left alone. After learning about my grandmother's story, I started to look with different eyes and ask questions. My grandmother's story influenced my future activities. I decided to deal with the protection of the rights of national minorities. A platform was created, and that's when I got to know Hrant Dink. The temporary exhibition dedicated to the world-famous singer and film actor Zangezur, to be organized in Yerevan, presents about 250 rare exhibitions related to the life and activities of the chansonnier, which includes rare photos, periodicals published in different countries, commemorative editions, audio albums, and as well as unique samples of movie posters with Zangezur's participation. The exhibition was organized on the basis of the collection created by the joint efforts of UCOM CEO Ralph Irigan and Doctor of Historical Sciences Agatangeghos as a tribute to the memory of the great Armenian. The exhibition consists of 4 main sections, where about 50 unique and little-known photographs, about 140 large and small CDs released in different years, as well as more than 40 original posters of films shot in France and other countries with the participation of Zangezur in different years will be presented. Dozens of multilingual magazines and periodicals published with the image of Zangezur in the 1950s and 2000s are a separate exhibit. Commemorative medals, stamps, badges, postcards, and other issues dedicated to Zangezur's life and activities will also be included in the exhibition. Of particular interest are the postcards and CDs signed by Zangezur in different years. Some of the exhibits that are part of the collection will also be shown in Gyumri. The initiators intend to donate the entire collection to Zangezur Museum in Yerevan after the end of the exhibition of organized permanent and temporary exhibitions. The official opening of the exhibition will take place at the National Museum Institute of Architecture, named after Alexander Tamanyan, Strict Year May 22 at 4 p.m. The exhibition will run until July 22. This was all for today. Goodbye.